Welcome to my channel. Old Coins News Today videos is one you won't miss. We're diving into the world of coins, so let's get it started. The United States of America 1974 D quarter dollar is a remarkable coin that reflects both the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint and the enduring symbolism of American history and national identity. This coin, minted at the Denver Mint, carries a D mint mark just to the right of Washington's ponytail on the obverse side, and it represents one of the hundreds of millions of quarters struck in the mid-1970s for general circulation. Despite being a common circulation coin, its historical context, design details, and the numismatic artistry behind it make it an intriguing piece of American coinage. Let's explore the 1974 D Washington quarter in full, detailed paragraphs, tracing its background, metal composition, design features, production process, symbolism, and collector appeal in a thorough, long-form description. The 1974 D Washington quarter belongs to the series first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design replaced the standing Liberty quarter, which had been in production since 1916. The Washington design was originally intended as a one-year commemorative issue, but it proved so popular that it became the permanent design for the denomination. By 1974, the Washington quarter had been in continuous production for over 4 decades, surviving multiple historical transitions, including the end of silver coinage in 1964 and the move to copper-nickel-clad compositions starting in 1965. The year 1974 came just before the United States bicentennial celebration, when special 1776 to 1976 quarters would later be introduced. This means the 1974 D quarter was one of the last regular issues before the historic bicentennial coinage, making it a transitional piece between two significant eras in U.S. numismatics. The D mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities of the U.S. Mint. In 1974, the Denver Mint produced approximately 353,160,300 quarter dollars. These coins were intended for daily commerce, and they circulated widely throughout the United States. Each coin was struck on planchets made from a copper core bonded to outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. The Mint's high-speed presses ensured precise, uniform strikes, though minor variations or minting errors can occasionally occur, creating valuable varieties for collectors. The 1974 D quarters were distributed through the Federal Reserve System, entering the economy at a time of inflation, rising metal prices, and growing public interest in coin collecting. By 1974, quarters were composed of cupro-nickel-clad copper, a technological and economic decision made after 1964 when silver was removed from circulating coinage. The outer layers consist of 75% copper and 25% nickel, while the core is pure copper. The total weight of the coin is 5.67 grams, with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters and a reeded edge featuring 119 grooves. This layered metal structure gives the coin its distinctive two-tone edge, a silvery outer rim with a visible reddish copper core. The clad composition ensured that the coins were durable and resistant to wear, suitable for decades of circulation. Over time, the surface can develop subtle toning or wear patterns, depending on its exposure to handling in the environment. The obverse side of the 1974 D quarter features a detailed left-facing bust of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan, based on Jean-Antoine Houdon's 1785 marble bust of Washington. This classic portrait captures Washington's calm strength and dignity, symbolizing leadership and freedom. Above his head, in bold capital letters, appears the word liberty, signifying one of America's most cherished ideals. Just below Washington's chin and to the left, the national motto, "In God We Trust," is inscribed, a declaration of spiritual heritage and moral grounding. Beneath the bust, along the lower rim, is the date 1974, marking the year of issue. The letter D, placed to the right of the ribbon tying Washington's hair, identifies the Denver Mint as the origin of this coin. The overall artistry of the obverse combines neoclassical realism with clear typography, balancing elegance with readability. The reverse of the 1974 D quarter, also designed by John Flanagan, features a magnificent heraldic eagle with its wings outspread in a commanding posture. The eagle stands atop a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness to defend the nation, while below it lies an olive branch, representing America's desire for peace. Encircling the eagle's image are the inscriptions United States of America at the top and E pluribus unum directly above the eagle's head, a Latin phrase meaning out of many, one, emphasizing unity among the states. At the bottom rim, the denomination is spelled out as $quarter. The overall composition reflects the balance between power and peace, strength and unity, central themes in American iconography since the nation's founding. The sharpness of the eagle's feathers, the crispness of the legends, and the proportional symmetry give the coin a timeless classical beauty. Every feature of the 1974 D quarter carries deeper symbolic meaning. The obverse celebrates George Washington, the first president and symbol of the nation's birth and independence. His portrait is an enduring reminder of leadership and virtue. The reverse, featuring the eagle, represents the United States as a strong yet peaceful power, always prepared to defend liberty but guided by the pursuit of harmony. The inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "E pluribus unum" link faith, unity, and national identity, while liberty crowns the coin as a perpetual statement of freedom. Together, these motifs form a miniature sculpture of American ideals struck in durable metal, small enough to fit in your hand but vast in historical resonance. For collectors, the 1974 D Washington quarter is not considered a rare coin in circulated condition due to its high mintage. However, coins in uncirculated condition, MS grades, especially those with sharp strikes, full luster, and minimal contact marks, can attract attention from enthusiasts. Gem-quality specimens graded MS66 or higher by professional services like PCGS or NGC can fetch premium prices. Additionally, some era coins, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or cladding flaws, are sought after by specialists. The coin also holds nostalgic value as a pre-bicentennial issue, representing the end of an era before the iconic 1776 to 1976 dual-date quarters appeared. For many collectors, the 1974 D quarter remains a classic piece of everyday American life, emblematic of mid-20th century design and minting excellence. Most 1974 D quarters entered active circulation and thus exhibit varying degrees of wear, from light toning to heavy abrasions. A lightly circulated example may retain much of its original mint luster, while heavily worn coins may show smoothing of Washington's hair details and the eagle's feathers. Despite this, the durability of the clad composition has allowed many examples to remain in use even decades later. The design itself continued unchanged until 1998, after which it gave way to the 50-state quarter program in 1999. As such, the 1974 D coin serves as part of the long continuity of the Washington quarter legacy, a bridge between the early commemorative origins and the modern era of thematic coinage. The United States of America 1978 quarter dollar stands as a proud continuation of the long-running Washington quarter series, a design that had already been in circulation for nearly half a century by that time. Struck in the late 1970s, a period of cultural, political, and economic transformation in the United States, the 1978 Washington quarter captures both the nation's traditional values and its modern progress. Every feature of this coin, from its inscriptions, portrait, and heraldic imagery to its copper-nickel composition, tells a story of a country firmly rooted in its founding ideals yet evolving with the times. What follows is a deep, detailed, and richly descriptive account of the 1978 quarter dollar, presented in long, informative paragraphs exploring its design, minting, symbolism, history, and numismatic significance. The 1978 Washington quarter continues the legacy of a design first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Initially intended as a one-year commemorative coin, it proved so popular that it permanently replaced the standing Liberty quarter. By 1978, this design had endured through the Great Depression, World War II, the end of silver coinage, and the beginning of the clad era in U.S. coinage. The mid to late 1970s were a time of post-Vietnam reflection, space exploration triumphs, and economic uncertainty, and coins like the 1978 quarter circulated through everyday American life, connecting citizens to a sense of continuity amidst change. This year was particularly interesting numismatically, as it was a final regular issue before the launch of the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar, marking the end of one chapter in modern American minting before a new one began. The 1978 Washington quarter was minted at multiple facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D mint mark. Over 521 million quarters were produced in total that year, 287,373,152 at Philadelphia and 287,373,152 at Denver, reflecting the high demand for circulating coinage. These coins were struck on copper-nickel-clad planchets, a composition adopted in 1965 to replace the 90% silver alloy used in earlier issues. The Philadelphia mint quarters of this era bore no mint mark, a tradition that continued until 1980. Minting technology had advanced by this time, ensuring consistent, uniform quality. Each blank planchette was cut from rolled metal sheets, washed, annealed, and struck under immense pressure by precision dies engraved with John Flanagan's classic designs. The finished coins were bagged in bulk, shipped to the Federal Reserve, and distributed across the nation to banks and businesses. The 1978 quarter, like other post-1965 issues, were composed of a cupro-nickel outer layer, 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This clad structure made the coin durable, corrosion-resistant, and cost-effective. It has a weight of 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and a reeded edge with approximately 119 grooves. The edge displays a distinct dual-metal appearance, a silvery top layer revealing a reddish copper core at the center. The obverse and reverse designs are slightly convex and concave, respectively, ensuring balance wear during circulation. This copper-nickel composition also gave the coin a lighter sound and feel compared to the earlier silver quarters, a difference that became part of the sensory memory of the post-1965 American economy. The obverse of the 1978 quarter bears the enduring bust of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. Washington's profile faces left, modeled after a famous 1785 bust by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon. The portrait radiates calm authority and moral strength, reflecting Washington's legacy as the first president and father of his country. Above his head, in strong capital letters, is the word liberty, signifying the foundational value of the United States. To the left of Washington's neck, the national motto, "In God We Trust," is inscribed, reaffirming the nation's reliance on divine guidance and moral principle. The year 1978 is centered at the bottom of the obverse, marking its date of issue. If minted in Denver, the coin bears the letter D to the right of Washington's ponytail. Philadelphia issues display no mint mark. Every detail of the obverse, from the curvature of the lettering to the subtle lines of Washington's hair, is a product of decades of refinement and precision by the U.S. Mint. The reverse side of the 1978 quarter showcases one of the most iconic images in American numismatics, the heraldic eagle, also sculpted by John Flanagan. The eagle stands proudly with its wings outstretched, symbolizing vigilance, freedom, and strength. Clutched in its talons is a bundle of arrows, representing preparedness and defense, while below rests an olive branch, a timeless emblem of peace. This juxtaposition captures the dual nature of the American spirit, a nation strong enough to defend liberty, yet always striving for peace. Above the eagle's head appears a Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This phrase reflects the unity of the diverse states and peoples that make up the United States. Surrounding the top rim is the inscription United States of America, while along the bottom edge, the denomination quarter dollar is boldly displayed. The reverse design, though simple, carried profound meaning and has remained one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. Every inscription and symbol on the 1978 quarter carries layers of historical and philosophical meaning. The word liberty evokes the ideals of the Revolution and the enduring pursuit of freedom. In God We Trust reflects the spiritual and moral foundation that guided the nation since its earliest days. E pluribus unum underscores unity and diversity, a principle deeply woven into the fabric of American identity. The eagle, arrows, and olive branch express the balance between defense and diplomacy, while Washington's portrait anchors a design in leadership and integrity. Together, these elements transform the coin from a simple monetary object into a piece of civic art, a miniature sculpture representing the nation's values, strength, and continuity. The 1978 quarter was a common coin in circulation across the United States and remained in active use for decades. It was found in pocket change, vending machines, toll booths, and store counters, a true workhorse of the American monetary system. Its durability ensured that many 1978 quarters are still circulating today, albeit often worn smooth from years of handling. At the time of its release, it had a face value of 25 cents, equivalent to the cost of small goods or services such as a cup of coffee or a newspaper in the late 1970s. As inflation continued into the 1980s and beyond, the quarter remained one of the most practical and widely used coins in daily transactions. From a numismatic perspective, the 1978 quarter is a common date issue, meaning it was produced in large numbers and is easily found in circulated condition. However, for collectors who focus on condition, mint quality, or die variations, certain specimens can hold special appeal. Uncirculated, mint state examples, especially those graded MS65 or higher, show sharp details, luster surfaces, and minimal contact marks. These are often found in mint sets or rolls preserved since their release. Coins with deep cameo finishes from proof sets, struck at San Francisco with an S mint inlay front. The United States of America 1979 quarter dollar represents a lasting symbol of American history, artistry, and unity, a coin that carried the legacy of George Washington's image and the enduring principles of liberty and national strength through the end of the 1970s. Struck during a time of national change, economic challenge, and technological progress, the 1979 Washington quarter holds a special place in the continuum of U.S. coinage. Its design reflects nearly half a century of American numismatic tradition, while its composition, production methods, and symbolism mirror the country's evolving identity. In this detailed and comprehensive account, we will explore every aspect of the 1979 quarter dollar, from its creation design to its historical background, symbolic meaning, and numismatic significance, in a series of long, richly descriptive paragraphs. By 1979, the Washington quarter had already been a cornerstone of U.S. coinage for 4 to 7 years, since its introduction in 1932. Originally issued to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, the design was created by sculptor John Flanagan, whose interpretation of Washington's profile was inspired by Jean-Antoine Houdon's 1785 neoclassical bust. The coin's introduction in 1932 came at the height of the Great Depression, yet its dignified imagery quickly made it a mainstay of the nation's circulating coinage. The 1979 issue arrived during another transformative period, the end of the 1970s, a decade defined by energy crises, inflation, and a renewed emphasis on American pride and identity. This coin served as a familiar anchor of continuity, circulating alongside the new Susan B. Anthony dollar introduced that same year. As the United States moved toward the 1980s, the Washington quarter remained a daily reminder of the nation's enduring ideals and the values that shaped its founding. The 1979 Washington quarter were produced by 3 major U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S, the latter primarily striking proof coins for collectors. The total mintage was immense, over 1.15 billion coins combined, reflecting the continued necessity of quarters in commerce. The breakdown was approximately 515 million from Philadelphia, 489 million from Denver, and 3.7 million proof coins from San Francisco. The Philadelphia issues of this period did not yet carry a mint mark, a tradition that would change beginning in 1980. Each coin was struck on a copper-nickel-clad planchette, continuing the composition introduced in 1965 after the removal of silver from circulating coins. The mints employed advanced automated presses capable of producing hundreds of coins per minute, ensuring uniform quality while maintaining fine design detail. These coins were distributed nationwide through the Federal Reserve System, quickly entering circulation and becoming a part of everyday American life. The 1979 quarter consists of a cupro-nickel outer layer, 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core, giving it a total weight of 5.67 grams. It measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter and has a reeded edge, a traditional anti-counterfeiting measure that also provides tactile distinction. The edge reveals a dual metal construction, displaying the reddish hue of copper between 2 silvery nickel layers. The coin's thickness is approximately 1.75 millimeters, and its density ensures resilience against wear in daily use. Unlike earlier silver quarters, the 1979 clad coin produces a lighter, higher-pitched ring when dropped, a sound familiar to generations of Americans who grew up handling clad coinage. This metal composition not only ensured cost efficiency, but also provided lasting durability, allowing many 1979 quarters to remain in circulation decades after their minting. The obverse front of the 1979 quarter continues the timeless design created by John Flanagan, featuring a left-facing bust of George Washington, the nation's first president and founding father. Washington's serene yet commanding expression reflects leadership, integrity, and national unity. His hair is tied with a ribbon in the colonial style, a nod to his era and status as a military and political figure. Above his head, in bold capital letters, appears the word liberty, representing the central ideal upon which the nation was built. To the left of Washington's profile, in smaller yet dignified letters, the motto "In God We Trust" reinforces a moral and spiritual foundation of the United States. The date 1979 is placed along the lower rim of the coin, beneath Washington's truncation. On coins struck at the Denver Mint, the letter D appears just to the right of the ribbon at the base of Washington's ponytail, identifying its place of origin. The obverse design combines artistic realism with symbolic power, creating an enduring image of American leadership and liberty. The reverse side of the 1979 quarter is dominated by a beautifully rendered heraldic eagle, another masterpiece by John Flanagan. The eagle, with wings fully spread, stands proudly upon a bundle of arrows, symbolizing the strength and readiness of the nation to defend its freedom. Beneath the arrows lies an olive branch, representing the pursuit of peace and diplomacy. This pairing reflects America's balanced approach to power, ever vigilant, yet guided by a desire for peace. Above the eagle's head is a traditional Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. This phrase captures the essence of American unity among diverse states and peoples. Along the upper rim, the inscription United States of America arches in bold letters, and at the bottom, the denomination quarter dollar completes the design. The arrangement of these elements conveys harmony and strength, while the detailed engraving of the eagle's feathers demonstrates the skill and craftsmanship of the mint's engravers. The reverse design, though traditional, remains one of the most recognizable and revered in American numismatic history. Every symbol on the 1979 quarter tells part of the American story. Liberty speaks to the core ideal for which the nation was founded and for which countless citizens have struggled and sacrificed. In God We Trust reflects the moral and spiritual compass that has guided the Republic through adversity. E pluribus unum emphasizes unity amid diversity, a principle as vital in the 1970s as in the 1770s. The eagle represents freedom, courage, and national pride, while the arrows and olive branch together express a balance between strength and peace. George Washington's portrait reminds Americans of leadership rooted in integrity and selflessness. Thus, even though it served as a common coin for daily transactions, the 1979 quarter embodies profound themes of faith, freedom, and unity, making it a small but powerful emblem of the nation's identity. In 1979, the quarter was one of the most widely used denominations in circulation. It was essential for vending machines, payphones, laundromats, parking meters, and countless small purchases. At that time, a quarter could buy a newspaper, a candy bar, or a gallon of gasoline, small symbols of a changing economy where inflation had begun to erode the purchasing power of coins. The 1979 quarter thus became a familiar companion to everyday life, passing through millions of hands, linking people from every walk of life. Because of its durable composition, many examples continue to circulate well into the 21st century.